Alrighty, welcome to our training, everybody. Um, this is a little bit of Volusion training for your homepage, and this is a little more tailored to those of you guys who are building and designing your site on your own versus having somebody here in our office do it for you. I'd say it's probably 50-50. Half of you do it yourself, half of you pay an extra fee to have our team do it. If you have some interest in having our team do it, you've gotten involved and you feel like it's just too difficult and you'd rather one of us do it, let your coach know and they can talk to you about that. But if you want to do it, that's fine. And today's session is geared a little more towards you guys that are doing the design yourself. In most cases, if you're having one of our staff do it for you, you don't really have to do much with the homepage design. If you're doing it yourself, you will, okay? So let me just point out some of the key elements on a homepage. And truthfully, there's two, maybe three, sort of essentials that you really need these days. We're looking at kind of a test website right now. And one of the first things you'll notice is, I guess this stuff at the top kind of comes standard with any Volusion site. You're going to have kind of like this is kind of your logo section up here, where you need some sort of graphical logo that's suggested, and we're not going to talk about that today, but I just want to point that out. This section up here is usually reserved for product categories. Usually you'll have a search icon somewhere, maybe a cart icon. That's pretty standard. That's when we talk about the header of your website, that's what we're talking about, okay? But when I talk about homepage design, I'm not really talking about that stuff at the top, okay? I'm talking more about what comes below it, okay? There's three portions of a web page, okay? You've got your header up here, which we just talked about. You've got kind of the middle section of your page, which is called your, I don't know if you can read that very well, but that's the body of the page, okay? And then as we scroll down here to the bottom, what do we call this section down here, guys? What is all of this generally referred to as? This is your footer, right? Header, main body, and footer. Those are your three sections. Now, we're not going to talk about the footer today either, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that out. I want to talk about the body of the home page. Now, some of you guys, as either we've designed the site or we've made suggestions to you, you wonder about the opening. This right here, this banner that you're looking at, this is kind of the first thing that displays on most websites these days. And this is not uncommon, okay? Look at any major website. eBay and Amazon have kind of a changing banner. Gap.com or, Toys R Us or Macy's. You can look at any major retailer, and most of them will have some sort of a banner. Now, not all of them are rotating, so you'll notice this one right here changes in and out, doesn't it? And we can change sort of the amount of time it stays on one banner. I've heard clients complain that, my banner goes too fast or whatever. It changes from slide to slide too quickly. Those are things that are customizable. Certainly, we can edit what's showing up here, right? This is just template stuff that's showing up here. And you can have many slides. You could have 6 or 7 if you wanted to. Most of the time, you'll have maybe 3 to begin with. Not that there's any sort of magic number there, but 3 slides is enough. Sometimes you just have a static image here. You'll see major sites that don't even have a slider. It's just a static image that shows up. Regardless, the point is, in most modern, well-designed e-commerce sites, there is some very bold messaging right there at the top of your site on your homepage, okay? The logo tends to be a little smaller, and I think some of you guys that kind of have maybe a little bit of a more old-fashioned approach to website design think you should have this giant logo on your site, and just not the way it happens anymore. Most logos are kind of smaller up here to the top left, like I was explaining before. So that's where a lot of your branding comes in, but your main messaging really should happen here in the middle. Now I'm not here today to talk about how to do banners and how to create them or edit them. That's a discussion for another day. All I want to say is you probably should have a banner or two or three. Don't go overboard. You don't need 6 or 7, because after all, you have to remember, what the main point of your homepage actually is. Remember this. I mean, this should be something. This is one of the most salient points you should take away from this. Your homepage is just a table of contents anyway. We don't close sales on your homepage. Your homepage's full job is just to motivate somebody to click deeper into the site, into something they're interested in. So it should be what directs somebody deeper into your site. That's the point. And another thing that a lot of you guys don't understand is you obsess over what's on your homepage because you think that everybody who visits your site is going to come to your homepage first. And that's simply not true. In fact, I would be willing to bet the majority of your visitors who find you on social media and through Google and other search engines, when they click on your site, they don't go directly to your homepage. Likely they're going directly to a category or a specific product and may purchase something from you without ever even seeing the homepage. So I mean, I hope that puts it into perspective. I'm not trying to diminish the value of having a really well-designed homepage, but you need to realize, guys, that it's not the be-all, end-all. A lot of people will never see it anyway, okay? So bear that in mind. That's something most of my clients don't realize. So definitely want some kind of a visual banner here with some good messaging. Below that, usually we'll recommend this section right here. This is kind of a featured product section. And a lot of times when we design clients' websites, we'll do like 3 featured products there. And you'll notice there's not a lot of information. You've got an image, you've got a product description, and you've got a price, and that's about it for each one of these. Again, this is not designed to sell this product entirely, right? The whole point of these featured products, or, we can call them what you want it, products on sale, or, best sellers, or we can change this messaging, but these products are only designed here to motivate a click, not to actually buy. So we're hoping somebody clicks on one of these and looks further into it. Now you can do more than 3. 3 is kind of what we usually have as a default, but I feel like whatever you do it in 3s, because 3s look nice on a site. So if you don't want to do 3, consider doing 6. So you'd have these 3, and then you'd have one here, and one here, right? Or maybe consider doing 9, and so you'd have one below this one below this. So you'd have kind of a list. You could even do 12 or 15 or 18, whatever. Sometimes my clients have expressed concerns about, well, my homepage is too long, right? I don't want a long homepage. I want it just really succinct and to the point. And that doesn't matter either. People scroll. So you'll notice a lot of mainstream websites out there, their homepage is not short necessarily. As they add more product and content on the site, people scroll for a while on the homepage, and that's fine. And that's what we're going to get into now. These are the 2 major sections that you need on a homepage, but I would argue you can build more, okay? And you don't need to be some great designer to do it. So let's just briefly review this tool right here. I've got another training on this tool, but if you'll look here, look for this. You guys see that? I'm drawing arrows to it, so I certainly hope so. It's the little blue box with a white arrow in it, okay? You guys should see that okay. If you click on it, which I will do, you'll get a little flyout, and you'll get these options here. Now, if you wanted to go to your dashboard, you'd put your mouse over the white dots, and you'd go to your dashboard. But we're actually going to use this tool now. This is sort of like the homepage builder. I believe they call it the content builder. Now, you'll notice there's options for it here, and I can scroll. And there's all these different elements that I can add to the homepage. Okay, but on another page, say I'm looking at an individual product, okay? Here's an individual product page. If I click that same icon over here, you'll see this notice come up here. Now, I get this question at least 3 times a week. I have clients that think their web builder is broken for some reason because it says content builder has been disabled on this page. Well, it's only disabled on this page because this is a what? This is a product page, right? Okay. Guess what? You don't use the content builder on a product page. In fact, in most cases, and I say most, but and I guess I mean that because there are other pages that this works, but on most pages, you're just going to use it on your home page. Notice I'm back on the home page here, and guess what comes up? The content builder, and it doesn't say that it's been disabled. That's because Volusion is saying, yes, it is appropriate to use the content builder on your home page. Now, I'm just going to scroll through and show you some of the different elements you could add. Let's say you wanted to add a little bit of text, right? I can click on the element that I want here, this one, and I'm going to click and drag. So I'm holding my mouse button and I'm dragging it to this empty box with these dotted blue lines, okay? It looks like a cutout, right? So I'm going to drag and drop there, and then guess what? This content shows up here. Now I have the opportunity to add some text, okay, which I may want to do. Some of you guys want to have some actual messaging on the site, so you know I can edit this a little bit if I want, and I can type out whatever I want here. Okay. Hold on just a sec. I need to raise my screen up so you guys can see this better. Okay, so you type in whatever messaging you want here. Could be information about your business or site in general, and you see this on sites where there's some actual written text on it. And this is optional, right? So I'm not saying all your sites need written text, although there is some evidence showing that having a little bit of text written out on the home page can actually be beneficial and help you in search rankings, although I don't think that's quite as important as maybe what it was years ago. But having some written text gives you an opportunity to better use keywords and better tell Google what this page is actually about. So you could consider doing some written text there. Okay, but you'll notice on the content builder, there's all kinds of different types of content you can add. So we just added, some simple content and text, but look at all these different types. So I think this one was a paragraph, maybe. See these different paragraph types. See, I could add, instead of just boring text, I could add this element right here, and I could have text along with an image. Okay. Now, of course, I can edit out that image of a little crocus there. I could choose a different one if I wanted. I could drag and drop this one here. Okay. And it's already kind of formatted nicely for you, so the only thing you would need to do is, edit these images and edit the text. If I want to get rid of it, while I'm clicking on it, you'll notice this little black box that comes up right here. That's kind of like your toolbar for your content. I can click the little X there, and that'll delete it. It'll say, are you sure you want to delete this block? I'm going to say yes. Let's delete that. I decide I don't want this either. Let's delete it. This I don't want. Delete it. Okay, it's gone. So now I don't have any of those blocks or those elements in there. Maybe I decide I want some social media icons. So I click on social. I'll highlight this one, or I'll click on this, click and drag, drop it right here, and boom, I've got some social icons which I can customize. Okay. Or, I don't know, there's some other kind of cool elements. You could add a single image. I could drag and drop. Maybe you've got a really great image of your products in use. I don't know how great this would be, considering I've already got a really nice banner there at the top. So, I don't know really if that would be something you'd use. Quotes are great. Customer quotes and testimonials are awesome. Highlight this single testimonial and drop it. And you get this really nicely designed sort of quote right there where you can put in a customer name and a customer testimonial. Here's another version of it, only this one has an image. Maybe you could put a picture of the customer that made the comment. Testimonials are cool. But there's all kinds of different ways to format it. This one's kind of cool right here. Let me drag and drop this in. This allows for 4 custom testimonials that you can edit. You can also look at this as code instead of as visual. So remember this little black box we talked about just a minute ago? I can click on the greater than, less than symbols, and it'll change this to code. If you guys are at all comfortable with code, you can use this to change and edit your little block or element that you just added. Okay, that might be getting a little on the advanced side for some of you guys, but I wanted to throw that out there as an option. So there's all kinds of cool stuff you can add. Now again, what do you need to have here? Nothing, right? You don't have to add any of this. Really, what's essential on the home page is that you've got categories going across the top in your header, you've got your logo, you've got a banner, maybe some featured products, and then your footer. That's the essentials. But what I'm suggesting is if you want to sort of elevate the look and design and the content, you may consider adding some of these other elements just to improve the experience, right? Maybe you're a service-based company using Volusion. You can drag in one of these pricing ones. I'll drag and drop that in. So there's a pricing one. Most of you guys are more product-based, so I don't think that's probably too applicable. So let's delete that out. Now notice, if I wanted to keep some of these that I've added, let's say I'm really happy with what I've done, I need to make sure I come down here and click Save. Don't forget to do that, okay? If you do that, all your work doesn't get saved and you lose it and have to do it again. So make sure you click that Save button. All right, let's delete these out. So again, I click. So I get that little black box that comes up. There it is again. Okay, there it is. I usually click at the top portion of the block and that gives it to me. See, I just delete all that out. This is all responsive content, which is nice. So when we add in one of these elements and edit it, it's actually going to show up really nicely on an iPad or a tablet, a mobile device. Everything will look really good there. If you wanted to do video, there's actually a video option. I know some of you guys have some really great customer testimonials and video that you could use. We can drag and drop video here, and then we would just need to edit which video comes up, which we can certainly do. You can do it here in the code if you want, or you can actually click on it and edit it that way. Anyway, guys, there's a lot of different options here. So I wanted to share this with you to help you guys understand that there's no right answer, okay? When I'm looking at home pages and I'm reviewing and giving feedback, I look for the critical elements, but when you start adding some of these optional things, I don't know if it's going to help or hurt. You know, we'd have to, really the thing you'd have to look at is, okay, how much traffic am I getting to my home page? What does my bounce rate look like? You have to look at your Google Analytics to tell if, you know, people's behavior on your site is indicative of good homepage design. But I don't want you to stress about it or delay the launch of your site over it too much, because as I mentioned earlier in the video, the majority of visitors on your e-commerce site will likely not even see your homepage. They'll find you through a product or a category, through search or through social. So I don't want to diminish the value of this homepage, but it's worth noting that it's not the be-all and end-all of your site. So use the editor here, the content editor, and realize that it will be disabled on other pages, and it does not mean your Volusion site's broken. So I want to make sure that's clear. So let's elevate our look a little bit, guys. Let's put a little bit of time into our home pages. It is worth your time, and if you've got testimonials or good videos or some content you could add, or maybe you want to make clear your contact information, whatever the case may be, this is a great way to format it. Makes it super simple. Guys, I hope that was helpful. Good luck on your home pages as you work on your sites this week, and we will all see you next time. Thanks for coming around.